Hello, welcome to Always Yarn First, the podcast that delves into knitting, crochet, spinning, and all things yarn. I'm Lindsay, and I'm coming to you from Little Rock, Arkansas. To stay updated on my latest yarn adventures, you can follow me on Instagram and Ravelry as Always Yarn First. Welcome. Today is Wednesday, September 4th. This is episode 71, and if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for stopping in, checking me out. I do a traditional style podcast, so I hope you stick around and there's something you enjoy here. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. Welcome back. A tiny bit of admin before we get into the episode. I am getting ready to co-host second annual Stripe Along 2024. This year I'm co-hosting with Amy from Happy Little Yarn and JJ from Jessalyn Janice. And this knit along crochet along will start on October 1st. So it's the last quarter of the year. It will run through December 31st, and you can just knit anything stripy. So yeah, more details will come as is, but last year you can post on Instagram, and JJ will be checking that. Amy has a Facebook group, and then Chatter and Finished Objects will go on my Ravelry page. But again, that's a month away. I just thought I would let you know so you can get your stripy projects together. Yeah, so get excited about that. And as it gets closer, I will put in links below and talk about it more. All right, so we are episode 71, and I name all my podcasts a song title that I love, because before my love of yarn was my love and obsession of music, and I like most genres of music. So I always find a song that is true to life or crafting or both or whatever. So this week's song is Suddenly. It's by Olivia Newton-John and Cliff Richards. It's from the Xanadu soundtrack. Do y'all know what Xanadu is? When I was little, I was obsessed with Olivia Newton-John, and I still love her. And I love the movie Xanadu. So anyways, I have a playlist on my Spotify where I have every song from the very first episode of my podcast on there. So I have a link below to that if you would like to, you can follow along and listen to every song title of every episode. All right, so let's get into it. I have a lot of things. So today we will have finished objects, new cast-ons, whips, acquisitions, and this is the goals episode this week. So we will touch on all those, and I will have timestamps below if you want to skip around. Yeah, so let's get into finished objects, and I have 4 of them. The first one I'm going to mention, I will put in a picture, is the Merci cloth by Toni Lipsey. I had mentioned that I was desperate need of some new dishcloths, so I have been working on those. I finished one, and I did not save it in my bag to show. I started using it immediately. So I took a picture before I started using it. And that uses the Knitpicks Dishie twist in the colorway Blue Twist. All right, so my next big one is behind me. This is blocked. I haven't taken pictures of it yet, so hopefully before I get this up, I will take pictures and edit, but today is a crazy day, which I'll get into more of that in a minute. So if I don't get a picture of it this podcast, I will probably just wear it the next podcast. This is my rocket tee. It is done. So for the rocket tee, I've made this before. I've made it with the striping that it usually has in the pattern before. And I've also made the DK version in one color. So this I just made in one color. This is Chelsea Luxe Spring Chicken. I did the increases design here, but that usually runs all the way down the side, and I did not do that here. I just knit the bottom of it. So I love this. I did the I-cord bind off on all of the places down here. So yeah, I will probably wear it this weekend. So maybe if nothing else, I'll get a picture of it this weekend. So really, really happy with this. I ended up using 3 skeins of the fingering weight yarn. Not a full 3, but you get the idea. 3 skeins. So that is my Rocket Tee by Tanis Lavallee. I love this for a t-shirt. I haven't knit a ton of just t-shirt patterns, but this is, of the ones I have knit, this is my absolute favorite one. I like the way it fits. All right, now I have 2 pairs of socks. So the first one is my monthly DVD Desert Vista Dyeworks socks. This was the socks I did. Here's the other one, just to show I have the completed pair. I love this color. It's super fun. This is her colorway Neon Cotton Candy. So yeah, every month I have been doing Desert Vista Dyeworks make-along for this year, where you can earn prizes and things. And I am still on top of it. So I will have this month's to show soon. And those are just vanilla socks. So I do have a free pattern on Ravelry. I did those top down. So I do have a free pattern called Basic Top Down Socks by Will Mueller. That's me. So I have another pair of socks that I've cast on since the last podcast. I had gotten this yarn from Merci at Rich Mountain Fiber Co. This is our Merino Nylon DK in the colorway I Am Not Okay. I love this sock. It kind of is looking more like denim-y, grayish, when really on camera it looks a lot more like lavender in there. I just really love the color of this. So here's the second one. I did get 2 skeins of this DK, but I just kind of wanted to knock out a pair of shorties. So I did this toe up to my foot length, did my regular shadow wrap heel, and then I knit 3 rows around and did 5 rows of ribbing. So these are house socks. I don't usually wear DK socks out. And that is it for my finished objects. So 4, that's pretty good. All right. Of course, I have just as many new cast-ons. So let's get into that. All right. I don't know what order I cast these on, but let's start with this one. So if you're new here, I work at Arkansas Yarn Co. And I, of course, get to see all pretty yarn come in and want to buy it all, don't need it all, but want to play with it. We have had a yarn in that didn't have a sample that now some has sold for this upcoming Stephen West mystery knit along. But previously when I started this, I'm like, you know, we haven't sold in this yarn. I wonder if people are curious what to make with it. So I asked if I could make a sample. I'm trying to see. Okay, I do have the tag. So let's talk about this yarn first, because ever since it came in the store, I mean, and the colors we have in it are gorgeous. So this is the yarn. That is definitely get blown out a little bit. But this is Jody Long Delish. So this is 50% extra fine merino wool and 50% silk. This is a 50-gram skein. It's 212 meters, 232 yards. So it is so soft and beautiful. So I decided to find a 1 skein project. So I am working on the Serenity Cashmere Keyhole scarf. So we know that the scarves have been popular. This is just another take on this. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. So, man, it is blowing out today. This is a free pattern. The difference is this one on the other side will make like a hole, and so you can put it through, thus the keyhole scarf. So right now I'm just knitting to, I think it's like 20 inches, and then I'll go back to the decreases. So yeah, I mean, you obviously cannot tell, but the stitch definition is lovely, and it is so soft. So I will not be able to keep this. This will be a sample for the store, but if I love it and could see myself wearing it, then I may buy a skein for me and make one for me. But yeah. Oh, this is in the colorway Petunia, by the way. But we have such bright, fun colors. I think we have like 10 different colors at the store in this. It's beautiful. All right. The next thing, let's do our next DVD, socks for September. This is in the bag I use for every month sock, my favorite sock bag. This is by Trappings and Trinkets. I got this at the Fiber Universe in Peoria, Illinois. This month I decided to go for a fall color. Here it is caked up. This is her Viso base and the colorway Camels in the Desert. And I'm doing, again, top down vanilla sock. Yeah, it's going really good. Very autumn colors. So, just started this yesterday, I believe. I think I did 15, no, maybe 10 rounds of repeat. I always go into my project notes and make sure I write how many repeats of the ribbing. Because I'm doing these socks monthly, she has a minimum height that you need. I don't like tall socks. And so I do the absolute minimum, which you need 3 inches of height before the heel. So I do the minimum 3 inches, do the heel, and then knit my foot length or knit to whatever foot length if I'm gifting it to somebody. So yeah, not much to say. Again, these are vanilla socks. Because I'm trying to keep up with them monthly, I don't want to fuss with a pattern. I'm just flying through these. All right, I have started another dishcloth, and this bag has kind of been my dishcloth bag. This is a Care Bears bag with a see-through vinyl. This is an old bag I got from Knick Knack Knits. I don't even know if Nikki is making bags anymore. So, love this bag. Love my Care Bears. I'm using the exact same yarn since I already had it open from the last one I finished. And again, I'm not using a pattern per se. The last pattern was Tunisian crochet, and I'm using Tunisian crochet on this. And I just have a light bulb stitch marker in the little hole of my interchangeable needle instead of a stopper. It pretty much does the same thing. And I just went through, I have a Tunisian crochet stitch dictionary book. So I just picked out one of them I liked and just figured out how many stitches I did actually the same amount of stitches as the last cloth, which was 32 I cast on. And you can't really see the patterning because of the striping, but it's a dishcloth. I mean, I don't care. I kind of am just doing it for my own practice. So this, I'm just using a honeycomb stitch for Tunisian. Uh-oh. I have, boop, a stitch that came off. So yeah, I'm just doing a honeycomb stitch. Again, you probably cannot see it. Doesn't bother me. I'm just doing different stitches. So, and I like having the texture on the dishcloth just so it's good for scrubbing if there's more texture on it than just flat, I think. So yeah, not much to say about that. Again, this is not a pattern. I'm just using the honeycomb stitch with the amount of stitches I cast on, which was 32 in this case. So again, that is Knitpicks Dishie Twist in the colorway Blue Twist. And I'm using, I guess I can say what size crochet hook I'm using. It is a J hook, US 10, 6mm. I have a wooden Chowgu interchangeable set that I got from the store. All right, I have one more new cast on. And I was too lazy at the time to even get a project bag, so I have it in my this year's yarn crawl bag, which I thought was appropriate because this weekend is the 2nd annual Arkansas Yarn Co. Weekend with Friends retreat. So tomorrow I will be going to a retreat for the weekend. Last year was our very first year. So this year we have, I think, 48 people total, including us 4 from the store. So it'll be a good time. Last year we had 30, so we have a bit more this year. And we have different classes. I MC a game night. There's a sunset cruise. We have all kinds of yarn and stitch marker swaps, and meals are included. Of course, lots of downtime for knitting. It's just a really good time. And I think the weather is going to be actually really nice. Last year it was still very hot, and I think it's going to be like maybe mid-80s, which is, for where we're at in Arkansas, is totally doable instead of like 100 that it's been for the summer. So I am taking a class. I am giving a class, and I'm also taking a class. I will be teaching, co-teaching really, with Lori, a felting keychain class. And then I have asked Jessa from the store when she was going to do a steeking class. And so she's finally doing it at the retreat. So I had to take it. And so our homework assignment was to make this little coffee cozy. So there's where the steeking is going to be. And this is a free pattern. It is called Steek This Coffee Cozy. So it is literally a pattern to teach you how to steek. So we're just going to do it in class. So we're going to be cutting, doing some crocheting up it inside. And for all of you, there's my floats. They look pretty good. I like 2-color color work because I just do one in each hand. I don't love color work as far as like styles of, I do have a couple color work sweaters, but they're not my favorite just in general. So if I do color work, I just like 2-color because I don't want to make it more complicated. So yeah, I'm excited about this. So this should be a finished object next time. Pardon me. Because at class this weekend, I will steek this and then we'll put it back together. I think that you steek it. I did not read all the directions. I figured that's what the class is for. I just made my homework and was on with it. And these are all scraps, DK scraps that I had. I know this deep rust was in a short sleeve sweater. It was an Erica Knight sweater. I can't remember the name of it, but I have. That pink is from another sweater I made. I think it was an Andrea Mowry. So yeah, I'm really proud of this. I'm excited to take that class of Jessa's. All right. That is all of my new cast-ons. All right, so let's get into whips. All right, I have 4 whips. 4 evidently is the magic number today, apparently. So I have this one in my Kelly E. McD mushroom bag. This is the Braided Bralette by Knitatude. And I've been working on it. I am finally out of the ribbing section. So let's talk about the yarn first. This is Manos del Uruguay Mino base in Bachata. Love it. This is where I'm almost done with the first skein. I do have a full second skein. So you can see where my stitch marker is. So you can see it's mostly ribbing, but I am just a few rows. Yeah, you can't really tell. I'm just in a few rows of making the cups. So I'm going around and decreasing there. So it doesn't really look like much to show. And I think Lori, this last week, she's been on vacation, and I think she finished 2 more of these. But I've been working, obviously, on many different projects, so I'm okay with it. Even though it's, nearing the end of summer, I do definitely want to finish this before I lose steam on summer knits, because I think this would be super pretty, like under a cardigan or a blazer. So I do want to finish this before I lose steam of my summer knits. So that's going to be a goal this month. So yeah, love this. Super squishy. Going to be awesome. All right. Next, another summer tank. I won't say I'm losing steam with this one, but I definitely feel like this one is not a priority to finish the season. Like, it may get pushed back till next year if I lose steam on summer knits, and I might push this back, which is okay with me. This is in another Kelly E. McD bag. This is my custom bag. It's BTS that she made for me. And this is my Sand and Sky tank. This is using 2 skeins of bamboo pop, waves, and corals. And this is bottom up, so I'm still just striping in the body. Hold on, my twice sheared sheep stitch marker is all up in the yarn. All right, so let me hold it where you can see where I was. I didn't make a ton of progress, but I did make some. So this just is striping sequence. It just tells you which rows to use, which colors. It's just fun. I'm enjoying the process of this. I mean, I do want the product, but I'm just enjoying the process. It's essentially stockinette, but you're changing colors every so rows, so it's still interesting to me. I've said it so many times. I get super bored if a sweater body is just stockinette, one color in the round forever. I lose steam really quickly. I get super bored, but at least with this, changing colors is enough to keep my interest. So I literally have this on so I know which color row I'm on. And then on my phone, I'm in a section where I'm going a different status, so I have like a number counter on my phone. I use an app called Knitting Genius. I think there's a free version of it. I think I paid a couple of dollars for it. And I love it. I have like different patterns on here, and then I have different things in that pattern. You can upload the pattern to it. So it's a cheaper option if, like me, you feel like Knit Companion is too much. So I really love that app. I will try to write it in the notes below so you can look that up. So yeah, love this. This is great. I just enjoy working on this when I want something easy, but I'm still engaged. So not a priority for this summer, obviously, getting done, but really enjoying it. I love working with bamboo pop. Okay, 2 more. I'm like, where's my other bag? All right. This is in my Barley Pearls library card bag. And this is my Mazzoni tank. Now, I talked about this the last podcast, and you all had given me your input. So if this is your first time watching, just a brief reminder. First of all, let me show the picture that I'm working on. Here is the Mazzoni vest. It is 5 colors. I am using 5 colors from Knitting McPurley that I got over a year ago for her shop-anniversary set. It was 5 50-gram skeins. Now, I know when I had figured out starting this, I thought that I had enough of each one, and I still might. But the main color that I started with on the bottom, I'm questioning if I have enough for how many stripes I have. So last episode, I said I had ordered 2 more skeins, full skeins of Knitting McPurley yarn, so it would be the same base. And if I wanted to, the rest of the pink, which is the next color I'm going to come up to. So I'm going back to the pink after this one I'm currently working on. And I was questioning whether to just use a new skein of a different color for the rest of that pink, or, you know, risk it, not, whatever. Most people in the comments said, yeah, don't risk it. I would use the new color. And then my friend Nicole, who is Prof Pearl, who does math for a living, she messaged me personally and said, no, I would weigh your yarn, what you're doing, however many rows, see how much you use, weigh the other color. She's like, so I wouldn't risk it. I would math it, which, Nicole, I love you so much. And I wish I had your math brain. So here is what I came up with. I would rather use the pink, and I would rather math it, but I am so dumb when it comes to math. Like, even, okay, for all you others that struggle with math, tell me if this is you also. Like, when I think, okay, I know what math problem I need to do to figure this out. So I do the math problem. I'm super proud of myself. And then, like, a moment strikes me and I question everything. I'm like, is that the right math problem? And immediately then I've lost it. And then I, like, can't figure out how I came up with that problem. Okay, am I the only one? Has anyone else done this? Because I just constantly question myself because I'm so not good at math. All right, so here is what I'm currently doing. I had 4 more rows. This is a 2-row repeat. It's like the knit row and then like the design row. So I had 4 more rows left to go on this color. So before I started that, I weighed this yarn, what I had. So when I'm done with that 4 rows and I'm ready to start the new color, or, you know, what would be this, I'm going to do the math, Nicole, to see what I used and then figure out how many rows I have left of that pink and see if it's right. See, I'm already literally second guessing myself. Okay. Help me, Nicole. Is that right? But I also, it's not in here, it's at my desk. I also have already skeined up the other color because this is one of the projects I wanted to take this weekend to the retreat to work on. Because as long as my colors situation is good, the 2-row repeat is super easy and I could do it while socializing. And this is a fingering weight sweater, which I always say feels like it takes me years. So I would love to put some work on this weekend. So Nicole, help me out. Tell me that that is the right method that I need to do. So I am bringing the extra color because I'm paranoid and I'm second guessing myself. And I have like all those math figures roaming in my head and can't make any of them match up. So I love this shirt so much. Either way, no matter what happens with the colors, I have plenty of yarn. It will get done. I will be working on it this weekend. Hopefully the next podcast, you'll see a lot of progress and you will be able to see what choice I made. So I'm trying, Nicole, okay? I'm trying to math it, but I'm also bringing extra yarn because I just don't know if I am getting it right in my head. So that is the Mazzoni vest, and it's beautiful, and it will be beautiful either way. All right. I have one more whip that I haven't worked on for a while. This is in a puff stitch bag. And this is my Anna Zadora shawl. So, if you're new here, I have been working on this for quite a while. I have been getting the Gritty Knits All Year Advent, where it's a club where it's $18 a month. You get 2 mini skeins each month sent to you, and she does them like in a phase. So I got that club from day 1 and decided to make this shawl with it. So, and then the white I'm using is Arkansas Yarn Co. Yummy Plush Wedding Cake. So I started down here, cast on, and here, and here. So let's see where my stitch marker is. So I've added 2 colors. So I was for a while keeping up with this monthly, but then I had lots of kind of time crunch things I had to work on, so it got pushed aside. So I had 2 months worth of yarn. And so I got, let's see if you can see here, this kind of like orangey yellow and this bright neon yellow are the 2 colors I've recently added, and both of those were July colorway. So I have August in here. Stick with the neon yellow, then we go to neon green. So I plan to work on those next. So before I added these colors, this shawl, it is paid for pattern, but if you can look at where the colors are, it has like the specialty stitches row is where I had the colors. And I had always decided to do 2 lines of color, essentially. So what that meant for me is I would do, basically this is a 6-row repeat with some garter in there. And then the specialty stitches, because you start here, you go across and you come back. So that's 2 rows. And then you always cut your yarn. That's what makes the fringe. So if you get to the halfway point, I reached the halfway point before I pick this up. It has you place the color now in the garter rows. And now your main color, for me is the wedding cake, is the specialty stitch as you're decreasing down. So I still am doing like 2 rows, essentially 4 rows of color, but it's not as prominent because now it's the garter rows. You can see that. So down here, you can see the specialty stitch in the color, but up here you can see the white stitches are the specialty stitches. And the colors closer together looking because the garter. But I decided to go ahead and do it that way. So yeah, that is where I'm at. The monthly club always ships around the 13th. Today is the 4th. So I don't know if I'll get caught up with August before I receive September, but I hope to get all these caught up and be back on track. So yeah, this is going to be a beautiful piece when it's done. All right, and that is everything I have worked on. That is a lot. It is a lot. Yeah, so let's go into acquisitions. All right, I have a few acquisitions. One thing I got, oh my goodness, and I forgot who I ordered this from. So if you follow Hedgehog Fibers, she always puts out patterns for free, which is awesome. You know, that's highlighting her yarn, of course. She came out with a bulky weight shawl last year, which was like lace patterning in it, which I love. And the color that she used, which she named the shawl after, I was in love with. And I eyed it. I didn't get it at the time. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. Well, then I sign up to every yarn store email. I probably shouldn't, but then my thing is, when I don't have any money, I don't even open the email. I just delete everything. But then when I browse, that's when you find out when there's sales and stuff like that. So I feel like it was Wool & Co. from like Northern Illinois. I'm pretty sure that's correct. They were having a sale and they literally put up the picture of this shawl again. So with this yarn. So I got, I think 3 skeins you need for the shawl. This is Moonstone. And so the pattern is called the Moonstone Shawl because this is the color she designed it with. It is definitely my colors. I love this so much. So I'm just showing you one, but I have 3 of these. So this is 100% merino wool. It is super bulky and 150 grams, 82 meters. That's why you need 3 of them because it doesn't go very far. But I'm super excited. Probably this winter when it's cooler, I will cast this on. But I've been eyeing this for, I feel like it's been at least a year since the pattern came out and I love it. I love this. I was so glad that I was able to get this color because sometimes I feel like she makes colors and then you never see them again. But I was hoping since she named the shawl after it, it would be a regular and I love it. All right. I also got a little bit of a Knitpicks haul. So I got a little kit per se, I guess, for dishcloths. I can't remember what the kit was, but it basically came with these exact 3 colors, which again, totally my colors. This is Conch, Aquarium Multi, and Mint. So it came with these 3 and 2 patterns for dishcloths. Those came all together for a crochet dishcloth set. So again, like I said, I really need more dishcloths, so I got those. And then while I was putting that order in, not like I needed anything, but I did get 1 ball of the Felicini fingering weight. This is what replaced the Felici. I know a lot of people said they don't like it because it's like way thinner stripes, but I thought to try it. So this is 100 grams. This is 437 yards, and this is the colorway Lemon Bar. So they always show online what the striping looks like, and I thought this was super pretty. Maybe for like a spring sock. And then I got another thing of self-striping, and this may be a prize for the stripe along. I don't know. It definitely is my colors though. So this giant beauty is a stroll hand painted. It's fingering weight. The colorway is Home Movie. It's 100 grams, 462 yards. It's 75% fine superwash merino wool and 25% nylon. So yeah, that is what I got for yarn. And then, not really yarn related, but I feel like many of us yarn people collect stickers and pins. And I just thought these were the cutest, so I had to show them. Last weekend, I went over to Hot Springs a day with my daughter. We just decided to take a shopping day. And we walked downtown on Bathhouse Row. And I found some pins. And I thought I'd show them here. So this one, Music Heals My Soul. because I have a record player and I've just upgraded my record player and it sounds so good. Oh man, it sounds so good. Then this is my jam. And I saved the best for last. The struggle bus, it says, "Get in, loser." I love this one so much. So I had to get some pins. We had a really good time. My daughter found some dresses and she got some rings. We had a really great time. It's kind of one of those things where we talked about that when you live in a place, even if like there's touristy things around you, you don't really think about the touristy things because you live here. I mean, Hot Springs is a very touristy place and we live really close to it, but we never go over there. And of course, I picked literally the Saturday of Labor Day weekend. So it was crazy packed, but we had a really, really good time. The weather was milder, so it wasn't like we were dying, sweating outside, walking outside. We had a really great day. So yeah, that is it for my acquisitions. So the last section today is talk about goals. So let's get into that. All right, so my August goals, first of all, let's talk about yarn in and out. Now, I will say, going into the last, bit of the year, my goal has always been I liked keeping this yarn in and out because I like to keep my yarn stash the same at least, if not more out than in. But this year has been an emotional year. It has been a crappy year. I'll just say it. And that has definitely been seen in my acquisitions. And you know what? The rest of the year, I'm going to go with it. I'm just going to choose joy and what I can get out of it. And so I'm not going to worry about it. But I will say my plan next year is to really make it a goal again. In fact, I think last year I had a year-long make-along to de-stash. And I can see myself doing that next year because not like I need to get rid of anything, but I definitely want to use more than purchase. And I will be more on a budget. So that will be another reason for that goal. So this year, I'm just letting it fly. So for August, I had 12 skeins in. For my skeins in, again, I always count full 50 gram or above as a skein in. If it comes in my house, it gets counted. That includes if I have finished a spin. Once it is finished, washed, and usable for knitting, it counts as a skein in. For the year, that makes 99 skeins in. For August out, and that is if I finished a project. Obviously, if I've used a whole skein, it's out. If I finished a project, even if there's scraps, it is called for out. Or if I give away yarn, it is counted as yarn out. I got 5 skeins out. That is a total of 59 skeins in. So really, I only have for the year 40 skeins in when you break it down like that. All right, so the few goals I set for myself in August were to finish my DVD socks, which is every month this year. Did that. Finish my test knit, which you saw on the last podcast. I did that in time. That was the Bryce sweater by Tristan of Dragon Hard Yarns. And my other goal was to finish my retreat shawl. So you'll notice I didn't mention that. I actually do have it here. I did not finish that. And I did write the pattern. There will be a shawl, a 1 skein shawl for the retreat goers this year. There was just so much on my plate and I felt so overwhelmed. So I had the pattern down. I was most of the way through it, but I did not finish it. So I wrote the pattern as is, had it test knit. The tester, who is Laura Brady, tested up so quickly, looked great. We used that for the pattern pictures. And so it just kind of took a weight off my shoulder, honestly. It was just a lot at one time last month. And so I did not finish that. But the pattern was finished. So that was the important part. All right, so September goals. I, of course, have the DVD socks always. I'd like to finish the braided bralette and get that done. And I'd also like to finish the keyhole scarf. That doesn't take a lot of work. The thing was with that is that's my at-work knitting. So what I mean by that is when customers come in, usually the girls, like if Lori's dying and the girls are in the back working, I'm the one that goes out into the front while people are shopping. So I can answer any questions, help them out. And a lot of times I will keep a project out on the table so that when I'm out there with them, I'm just casually knitting so they don't feel like I'm stalking them while they're shopping. And so I'm working on a project, for the store, which makes sense while I'm working. So that's been I only knit on it at work. But again, I just need to get like 20 inches long and then I'm decreasing. So it shouldn't take much. And even if I don't have all the time working at the store, I'd like to finish that and get that off my needles so we can have it as a shop sample. And that is it for my goals. I, of course, would like to, I guess I would kind of like to catch up with this because I don't have any big things that have to be done, like my test knit and all that last month where I was kind of stressed out. I was kind of worried to make goals this month, but I would love to get caught up on my shawl. That should be, a pretty easy thing. I have 1 month to catch up and then I'll have this month. So I'll probably add that as a September goal also. But yeah, that is it for this podcast. So if you were able to stay to the end, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. Please like, subscribe if you haven't. Please leave comments below. Make fun of me about my math brain or lack thereof. And please tell me that I'm not the only one that does this, that figures out a problem and then immediately second guesses themselves. Like, it's a problem. I almost feel like I would be doing more designs if I had a math brain because I second guess everything. So yes, please tell me I'm not the only one. So again, thank you so much for being here. I know some of you that watch, I will see you at the retreat this weekend. So you won't be watching this probably till after, since this will come out on Friday and we will be having fun together at the retreat. So for the rest of you, thank you so much and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.